I was scrolling through TikTok the other day and I saw this interview of Hailey Bieber on a podcast talking about her relationship with Justin and his ex, Selena Gomez. Yes, so far so good. At the same time that I thought it would be nice to finally hear her side of the story, I also thought it was a bit unnecessary since it seems to me that people are finally starting to like her, so why bringing this up now? Funny you ask, because you see how life is. Selena Gomez is dropping a documentary about her life in November. Like a very respected poet once said,
"That's suspicious."
Of course, I listened to the podcast. I felt really curious about it, and usually I talk about rock and things like that here on my channel because this is what I listen to the most, but I just have so many thoughts on the topic that I really need to share with someone. But it doesn't have to be a one-way conversation, okay? We have the comment section here. Feel free to express your opinion as long as you're nice, because there's no right or wrong, maybe depending on what you're saying there is. I love hearing other people's opinion, okay? So if you already liked the video and got subscribed, go get subscribed. Okay, thank you. We're ready to go. Making this video was a roller coaster of emotions. It was a very intense journey. I felt drained, I felt angry, I felt confused, and since I don't want you to feel the same, I'm gonna start by the lighter parts and then head to the most fucked up ones, okay? To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Selena or Hailey. I kind of like them both. But like I said, I felt really curious to hear the interview because it doesn't really make any sense to me that she wants to discuss the relationship with her husband and his ex now when things are going well. She has her skincare line. She became very popular on TikTok because of her style. She's showing her personality a little bit more. So at first, my first thinking was that maybe she was going on the podcast to talk about the Met Gala incident. Ironically, that's exactly where she lost me because she gave the weirdest response, saying that there was something in her eye and the glasses were part of her look. I mean, I remember watching the TikTok and feeling really bad for her because people were screaming Selena's name and she started crying, and okay, her answer on the podcast does make sense even watching the video again, but still it was too loud. It's impossible that she didn't hear it. To me, the biggest issue with her response is that it didn't feel real. The whole podcast didn't. It was almost too perfect. Like, I never heard this podcast before. I actually did one episode once with a therapist. It was really nice, and I heard some parts of it in my friend's car, so I don't really have a big reference on what the podcast really is, but judging by what I listened to before, it seems very nice. The thing is that on this one, Alex didn't really go deep in a lot of questions that she could have, and it didn't feel like a friend-to-friend conversation. It felt vague, even though they know each other. Also, by watching it, you can clearly see some cuts. It was edited, not all of it, but some key parts of it definitely were. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's work. We want it to be perfect. We want it to be nice. It's a really big audience, so we need to do something well done. But let me explain why there is actually a problem in this context. We have two options here. A, Alex either got into a comfort zone and just makes really basic questions, or B, she was instructed to make those specific questions and nothing else. I'll check B. Look, let's say that it is damage control. The documentary is gonna come out in a little bit, so we better be ready, prepare the public and everything. Okay, nothing wrong about that. And actually, honestly, I feel like Hailey should have shared her side of the story a way sooner, by the way. What bothers me here is that if you're gonna do that, then do it openly, then do it naturally, not with curated questions, because the feeling that I have is that she said a lot of things and nothing at the same time. We could see a tiny little bit of her personality. She has a lot of Libra energy, by the way, love her for that. But I myself was expecting to see her opinions on other stuff, on her life, how she sees the world and everything. I even thought that, okay, maybe this didn't happen because it is a relationship podcast, so it makes sense that she goes there to talk about relationships. Still, it felt like something was off. It's not like I'm proud of saying that, but there's no other way to say it. It feels to me that she is lying to herself. In case you're lost, which I don't blame you, because understanding this drama is a full-time job, I'm gonna give you some context. 2009, Justin and Hailey meet through her father, who is a famous actor. They were little kids, and of course she had a crush on him. She was a preteen, basically a kid. She was like 10, and he was the most popular teen idol at the time. So every time I see someone shaming Hailey because of that, I get like, bitch, if it was me and Daniel Radcliffe, I learned how to speak English because of him, by the way, because I thought we would get married. I still think. A bit after that, Justin managers called Selena Gomez's mom and said that, oh my god, they're so popular right now, maybe they should meet and everything, blah blah blah. In 2011, he was official with Selena. In 2014, they broke up for a lot of reasons, cheating, rumors, too young, whatever. What matters is that by the end of 2014, there were rumors they were back together, and they were. Pay attention now, because this is the most confusing part, and now you're gonna understand. In May 2015, he was with Selena, but he was often seen with Hailey. And okay, because they were like in the same friend group, everyone knows everyone, but the thing is that the pictures is not really giving friendship. See, this whole situation is like a collective women intuition. When you feel like there is something, there is something. Because in 2016, he was official with Hailey. Now, pretend to be surprised. Pretend to be surprised. Okay, ready? Alright. In 2017, he was back with Selena. And like another famous poet once said, you call me up again just to break me like a promise, because by the end of 2018, he broke up with Selena again. It's easy to see why everyone got so obsessed with this story. It felt like a show. It still does. We're in what, season 10 by now? And the cast is so iconic. Like literally every person you can think of was somehow involved. Gigi Hadid, Kendall Jenner, Ariana Grande, Orlando Bloom. Like Orlando Bloom, The Weeknd, and the poet that we just mentioned, Taylor Swift herself, playing her part as the best friend very well. Because there is this video of her in Billboard Music Awards looking at Justin that I've never related to someone more than like I did in that moment with Taylor. Yeah. Let's stop to think, like rationally. If you're thinking, how many people you know that were that young that are still together? The friend of your cousin who lives in the farm doesn't count. Honestly, how many people you know? So of course it wouldn't last, especially in Hollywood. It would have been completely fine if Justin had married Hailey. If he hadn't done that 2 months after breaking up with Selena. Look, he has the right to. It's his life. What impresses me, what amazes me here is the lack of emotional responsibility that he had with Selena and with Hailey herself. Every single girlfriend that he had suffered from hate since day one. Even Selena and Hailey did, and the models that he dated for like a day also did. Obviously, we don't really have to mention, but I will just to make things more clear. With Selena, is that as not even emotionally irresponsible? It's giving nurse. There's this psychiatrist that I love watching. She's so smart. And she was explaining the other day how when you are in love or on drugs, your brain feels literally the same thing. The same part of the brain is activated. That's why when you are in love and things like that, you do things that you wouldn't normally do rationally. You felt the butterflies in the stomach, or you want to see the person all the time, because depending on how intense it is, you get addicted. The withdrawal can be pretty bad. You get headaches, you feel pain, you feel confused, mostly depressed. In Selena Gomez's case, she felt both. And I do have a point with that, but remember that they were back together back in 2017. That was those very strong rumors that when Selena went to rehab, it wasn't just for mental health or lupus. We know very well that she did struggle with that. The last thing I want to do is accuse her of something, but all those clinics she spent time at are actually for addiction. There's also this video that is very surprising how nobody really knows about, that is her and Justin in a very sketchy neighborhood. Very sketchy. It has some parts that this part of the city is known for being a drug spot. This really changed everything in the perspective that we have in the story, because that would explain a lot why they were so connected and literally addicted and toxic to each other. They obviously had chemistry, and that's why we all wanted them together, but at the same time they were too similar. They were also conflicting for the same reasons, like fame, exposure, and mostly being very young and immature. They would understand each other, but what I keep thinking is like, do they love each other or were they attached to each other? We're never gonna know. Maybe it was all at the same time, but the key here is that Justin may have loved Selena, but he's never respect her. I've been like in a few relationships like everyone, but like the two hardest ones, one of them was with a narcissist, and it was the lowest that I've ever felt in my whole entire life. I would feel constantly guilty and ashamed, and the amount of times that I felt like I had to record a conversation, I never did, but the amount of times that I felt like I had to record a conversation just to make sure that I wasn't going crazy, it's insane. I was lucky enough that I wasn't really in love with him because I was on therapy for a while, then I could like spot some red flags. I was a little bit more mature. The whole relationship kind of felt manipulated. It's very hard to explain, but what I'm trying to say is that it was the lowest of my life. So I can imagine what Selena has gone through. Again, I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but what is there is there. I can imagine going through all that for years in publicly. The whole story, the whole background was actually very exposed to us, but we never really cared that much, I think. But in this song, The Heart Wants What It Wants, for example, lighting me up like a Venus, then you disappear and make me wait, and every second's like torture, heroin drip, no more, so finding a way to let go. In response, we got sorry, because I just need one more shot at forgiveness. I know you know that I made those mistakes maybe once or twice, or maybe 1,000. By once or twice, I mean maybe a couple hundred, exactly what I'm saying. So you literally can see how toxic it is. It's literally the blueprint of gaslighting. Just, it's always my fault. What did I do? Dude, I remember when I got blocked every single time something went wrong. Hi, if you're a man watching this, please be better. Just for us to end the song chapter here, we have the most recent one of Selena, Lose You to Love Me. You promised the word and I fell for it. Love bombing. I put you first and you adore it. Sets fire to my forest and you let it burn. Sang off key my curse cause it wasn't yours. Literally, yes. Imagine you are 21 and then the guy that you're extremely in love with for years, he proposed you. Of course you're gonna say yes. So that's why I feel like it's a little bit unfair to Hailey for people to be hating on her so much when it's like if you was the opposite, you would say yes. Today, after 3 years of therapy, if a guy was between me and his ex, by the first time I would have already said, baby, you're good to go. Okay, Selena is not perfect. I think most of us forget this sometimes. You know, she was toxic herself in some moments with The Weeknd, Orlando Bloom, commenting on Justin's IG post when he was dating someone else, and so was Hailey. Going to the same manicure as Selena and then posting right after that this was the fall shade at her wedding, like that was low. But we're talking about two really young and immature girls here who basically dated the same guy at the same time, but one is the ex. Of course Selena would be petty. 2 months. Of course Hailey would be as well, okay, because okay, she's the one marrying him, yes, but we have to remember that he was getting back with his ex all the time, and his ex happens to be one of the biggest Disney Channel stars of all time. Who wouldn't be insecure? You put yourself in the situation, you kind of feel like, okay, like can we actually blame Hailey? Again, I feel like the podcasting, it was kind of off. It was better not be going there or going and being like, yeah, look, this happened. I'm not protecting her or anything. It just feels like I don't think she is aware of all that. I just feel like it's unfair to both. The girl is clearly traumatized over there. I honestly don't think she deserves the hate she's getting. No one deserves hate. The way that she's getting, I just feel like, hey, we all need to grow up here. Just Selena, are those actually fans or haters? Because every single opportunity they're gonna bring this up. Like, why would you bring this up? What gets me the most here is that Selena is all about kindness and empathy and understanding others. You will all be hating in someone. Okay, she's the girl that married Justin. If it wasn't her, it was gonna be some other person, but not Selena. Honestly, looking at a big picture, I also feel like it's good that they got married, Hailey and Justin, obviously, because otherwise, I don't think it would have stopped. I think it would have been a way worse. The way that he treated her, Selena, badly by all the cheating rumors, the fight in the airport, marrying someone after 2 months, that's fucking low. I can't. This got me so angry. You know, like, it wasn't different with Hailey. Like, getting back with your ex all the time. And, you know, like, dude, she said in the interview that he just needed to make sure and to have closure with Selena and things like that. If you want to call it closure, we can call it that. But to me, it feels like a guy playing with two girls' feelings. Both of them are in love, and he's gonna be like, maybe I feel like this one today, maybe I feel like this one now. Let's try again. Nobody's actually thinking about how fucked up this is, because it is. Again, everyone was too young to understand that. So, hi. But still, you could have some little bit of common sense and not marrying someone too much. I have more to say. I remember on her birthday, it was Hailey's birthday, and then he brought Selena and she was crying. He made her cry on her birthday. It's giving her. Hailey has been having a very positive impact on him. He was clearly someone very toxic to Selena. She might have been toxic as well, but like either it was a very toxic relationship. I really admire and respect Selena for being so strong. But at the end of the day, you see two women that are traumatized in different ways by the exact same reasons. And one last thing, Hailey said that Selena has never asked people to apologize or to stop or something like that. She actually did a few years ago, but it wasn't that explicit, and you know, like it was on a random live stream on her Instagram. My camera stopped recording, but it's okay. I just had to say that yeah, Selena did ask people to stop twice now, and maybe Hailey didn't see it, but that's fine. I really do think that they don't really own each other anything, Selena and Hailey. You know, just in case you're curious, yes, Justin keeps quiet. Yeah, but that's it. Let me know if you want more videos like this, okay? I hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. And if you did, and I understandable because it's so exhaustive. Bye.